everybody, Intuitive Perceptions, aka Mark, back here again. It's been a while with a collective reading here for you guys. I was inspired, or you know, requested, I should say, by God to deliver this reading for you guys, and maybe even for myself. Damn, at this point, yeah, just as a collective reading here. I know I've been away for quite a while here, but we'll talk a lot about that in a whole other separate video and all of that. But things are great. God's good, always present, and the connection is just stronger than ever right now. Also, too, I just before we get into the reading, I just also want to thank everyone for sticking with the channel, even though there hasn't really been too many updates. However, once again, we'll get into all of that in a separate video. All right, guys. So for the main reading here, in terms of Oracle, we're going to be using the Spirit Animal Oracle here by Colette Baron Reed. And regarding Tarot, we're going to be using here the Tattoo Tarot here. It's by Mega Munden, I want to say. Okay, guys. So as I was tuning in, to the energy for this collective reading here, it's also timeless. The animal totem, the moth, came through. So I have a couple little things written down here regarding what the spiritual meaning could be or what it may be regarding the moth animal totem. So moths are curious creatures, flying in a cloak of darkness, yet are attracted to bright light. Their presence and mysterious nature can give us, I should say, mixed feelings of wonder and unease. Moths represent transformation, hidden knowledge, inner wisdom, psychic abilities, and shadow work. They are connected to the moon, feminine and yin energies, and intuitive discoveries. They show up to help us, or you, discover your hidden desires and awaken to your true self. It is still undetermined why moths are attracted to light, but the most popular theory is that female moths have a vibration that emits a certain frequency that moths perceive as light, mistaking artificial light as in the form of like feminine energy. Or female energy, I should say. They are wired to be attracted to feminine light, and the artificial light is so strong that they just can't stay away from it. So, just to sum things up here, if you are searching for a deeper meaning to your life, the light you are looking for is already inside of you and it has always been there, and it will always be there, not outside of you. Your own inner light, your truth, your intuition, and your higher self, and God as well. Help is helping you guide, through your path and guide you to your highest path, let's say, and to your truest nature. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start and see what's coming through. So we're gonna pop out a oracle card here, and we'll see what it is. Okay, at the end, and put it right here to the side. Okay, that was pretty quick. Okay, guys, let's see what's going on here. So, collective reading here. Timeless. What's going on, God? What you want us to know? What do you need us to know? What needs to be said, Father God? A lot of purging regarding fear. We're starting to understand a lot, guys, that fear is in the mind. Fear is what we think something will be without experiencing it. So we really don't, it's like a guess, as to how it could be, how it may be. And let me just put this down real quick. All right, guys, we have to remember something. It's okay, guys, to always be aware of things, right? And to always, keep track of things and to maybe, set benchmarks, But if there are any areas in your guys' life that you are experiencing a lot of fear, we can talk about, or we can speculate and do the whole what it could be, what it may be, what it might be, what it ought to be. We can talk about that, or you can worry about that all day long. But until something happens or an event occurs, all of that information and all of that speculation, guys, it has no meaning. And in a sense, I'm going to say it like this, guys. It has no meaning. It's meaningless, has no content or context, and it is stupid. Now, when I say stupid, meaning to be in that type of energy and vibration, Because until something happens or an event occurs, then how we feel about it, speculation about that event or circumstance can then be kind of taken. And then the speculation then has meaning. So until then, and it's not like we're gonna be waiting around, right, for like something to happen, we're like chewing our damn nails. No. But it's just until something happens, something occurs, an event happens. All of the what it could be, maybe, ought to be, should be, might be, it is all meaningless and it is stupid. I hope you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. And it's also interesting too. I don't know if you heard in the background audio the Ice Cream Man truck, the song, which I thought was very interesting. I'll leave it up to your own understanding of that and what it means. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we have the Ace of Coins or the Ace of Pentacles. New opportunities, guys. New things are coming in. And when we are riddled with fear, when we are riddled with the meaningless and stupid, speculation, we aren't present, guys. And we then cannot be aware of, nor can we actually be ready to embrace, to understand, to even see, to even perceive the blessings that God has for us and the blessings that, that ought to be there for us, but we'll miss all of it if we aren't present. And how do we stay present? It's a good question, right? It's not what's wrong per se. It is what's happening. And it's very important, guys, at this moment in time on earth for all of us to be very present right now, because it's all that we have, in terms of time periods, or in terms of, past, future, present. All of it is a third dimensional construct, right? At the end of the day, time is made up. However, what I'm trying to say here, guys, is all that we have is the present. And we must be aware of that. And we also must stay present. And how do we do that? By paying attention to what is happening. Yeah. This one's to pop out too, so we'll go ahead. Oh, Judgment reversed. Okay. Let's see. Pop out a few more cards here. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, the King of Coins or King of Pentacles reversed. Okay, let's put this deck down here for a minute. All right, guys. We can worry about, once again, about all the things that happened in the past, and we can then try and bring that into the present. Or, okay, I can understand up to a certain point, when we are our experiences, and that's kind of like our wisdom in a sense, what we've learned. However, let's not limit ourselves to, since we experienced it in that manner or in that way, that we then hold an expectation and limit ourselves to into a box by telling ourselves that, oh, well, it's always going to be like that. Then let's not do that. It's not advisable during this time. It's also not allowing you to stay or be present as well, because you're trying to, be too in the future, right? So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is things that have happened in the past, let them go, let it go. This is new earth energy. This is new. It's all about the new in terms of remembering, but remembering in the way or in the context of what our inner being, what our inner Christ knows and should remember and would like to remember and present to us, so that we can anchor Christ consciousness and we can anchor in those light codes, and we can then have undoubtable connection to source, to God, to, whatever or however that is for you. And we must, like I say, stay present to receive that information. And we need to be present. But how things have happened in the past, it's once again, it's like speculation, right? That's stupid. It's like speculation again, when it's like, oh, well, it's always going to be like that. And then when we start to then, like I said, limit ourselves and say it's always going to play out like that, if that situation or circumstance arises, Okay, then what we start to then do is then dig more, dig a lot deeper into what happened, and then we're going to try to prevent, and we're going to try to avoid, and it's at the end of the day, guys, excuse my French, but it's just a head fuck. And it's all in the mind, the power of the mind, and right now it's very important for all of us. I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to y'all. It's very important for us, guys, right now to master the mind. Master the mind in terms of not to conquer, in a sense, right? But to merge with the mind and to understand the mind and to prevail, in a sense, over allowing the mind to infiltrate our true inner being and our soul's true nature. And I also feel too that maybe a lot of you guys are experiencing, situations with money, situations with finances. I hear you. I get it. You know what I mean? Our relationship with money and our relationship as to how we feel about money and how we feel, our relationship to it and our understanding of it will be as to that type of energy, how it will come in and how it will then be exchanged. And guys, if we have I don't like the word negative, but if we have a destructive, let's say, viewpoint, our skewed viewpoint regarding money, we are then going to manifest that, right? We are then going to, that energy will then be as to which we receive back. Also, too, guys, with money, our belief systems around it say a lot, or it can speak a lot about how we feel about ourselves and our self-worth and where we are at, spiritually, and how and where we allow ourselves to receive. Whether we feel like we deserve or even would like to receive. Do we deserve to receive? Do we honor ourselves enough to receive? Because, guys, when we receive, that is a form of being vulnerable, and that's also a form of like an ego death or an ego humiliation, and I can get up to a certain point. However, everyone deserves. Everyone has a God-given, you are a multidimensional spiritual being and you come from God's source, okay? Never forget that. And you are here to receive. You are here to share your viewpoint. You are here to shine your inner Christ, your inner light with the world, and to bring your information to the collective and to the world. And the only way that you can do that, is to allow yourself to receive, right? And that goes hand in hand also with how we give to other people as well, or other individuals, regarding our information that we're bringing. Do we allow them to receive properly, or do we allow them to receive in the form of, or what I'm trying to say here, guys, is do we allow them to receive in terms of, are we harmless? Are we gentle within our delivery of that information? Do we try and shove it down their throat? Do we try and manipulate things or situations in a sense where we're like, no, you need to see it like this, and this is what it is. Okay, you're not allowing yourself to receive at that same time as well. So it's kind of like, if we're in that vibration or in that energy, guys, we're kind of we're concerning ourselves with the one thing we're protesting against. I hope that makes sense. We have to understand, guys, that we have to understand our ego. And even though it may be coming from a great place, that's beautiful. However, the ego that we are exhibiting regarding wanting that other person to hear our truth, to hear what we have to offer, is the same amount of ego that that person is exhibiting regarding not wanting to hear it. So it's like, it's a mirroring effect. And what better situation or energy or vibration would, like, suit your needs than that, in a sense, Hope I'm making sense. We're kind of rambling on here. Only got 3 damn cards, but we don't need the cards. But however, we're going to use them, okay? Let's see. Also, just releasing a lot of belief systems around, like, around like the best way I can describe it is like around like Taurian energy or Taurian archetypes, meaning I have, yes, cool, you do have, but those things as to which you place value in and that you feel that, bring value to your life, or that you have per se, material things, physical things. What happens when they're not there, when they're no longer there? For whatever reason, that may be. Does it change the way that we feel our view about ourselves? Do we feel less than? Do we feel do we feel disempowered when those things are no longer there that we place value in? And it's very important, guys, to, we live in a physical world. I get it. I'm here with you. So we're here to experience physical, situations, things, materialism. However, guys, where's your value that you place within yourself? And that value as to which you place within yourself or upon yourself will then be, once again, that as to which is surrounding you, your being, your environment. And it will always speak of how you feel about yourself. Because when you place that value within God, within yourself, it'll never be gone unless you choose to decide to want that to be gone. That's why God is within your heart. God's within. And when you remember that, guys, it'll change everything. And that can never be, that can never go away unless you allow it to, or step away from it, Yeah, we have the Four of Pentacles reversed here. Releasing things, guys. Release even identities, guys, that we have placed upon ourselves that's limiting ourselves. Now, when I say identities, guys, what I'm trying to sit here and say is identities like, oh, I am this, or I am that, or I'm this type of situation, or I'm of that situation. Those labels that we place upon ourselves, and those those belief systems, those, just who we think who we think that we thought that we were is not who we are now. And it's just remembering to not limit yourself. I know I keep saying that that's coming up a lot for us during this time. Not limit ourselves. Because when we place ourselves in a box and we limit ourselves in many, many ways, when we do limit ourselves, in a sense, that can mean that we are then limiting or placing a, limitation upon God's blessings for us, and when we place that expectation, we're kind of, in a sense, subconsciously maybe, vibrating at an energy or speaking of, God's blessings for you as it can only be this good, or it can only be that great. And why would we ever do that, And God's like, I'm trying to give you the best blessing in the whole entire world. And you're like, well, it can only be 4 foot high. Like, let's not be doing that. Because God's like, I got it, a better thing for you. And it's 12 feet high. But I'm trying to give it to you. But, you think it's only going to be 4. My child, that's how it's going to be. Hope that makes sense here. Interesting what's coming through. Okay, the last card here. Yeah, 7 of Cups reversed. The confusion, guys, too. It's okay to be confused, guys. If we are in a space of confused and not know what to do, that's okay. That's all right. Clarity will always come in time. We just need to be patient. And we don't have to know everything. A lot of times, guys, we want to know everything, or we want to, let's leave it at that. We want to know everything so that then we can prepare for what we think will come. That just further, incites fear, that further incites anxiety. It's like this, guys. Like, Okay, you know how sometimes a lot of us say, well, I want to make sure that I put myself in a better position so that then if that thing were to ever happen, I would then be in a better position if it were to ever happen. How the hell can you prepare nor understand what you need to prepare for something that hasn't even happened, for something that probably won't happen? And what makes us then think that we know exactly what needs to be done so that then if and when it were to happen, it would suffice that circumstance or situation? Like, it's like, whoa. It's a lot of the mind games, guys, that we play with ourselves. So it's releasing ourselves from confusion. And how do we do that? By no longer worrying about what may come, what might come, what needs to come, what should come. Like, move away from that and to stay and be present. And how do we, once again, how do we stay present, or how do we embody being present? Is by paying attention to what is happening. You know? Hope that makes sense, guys, here. See the bottom of the deck here. Oh, the Eight of Wands reversed here. Yep. Let's see, 1 second, guys. Let's see what's else is gonna come through. Sorry, guys, my dog. It's time, guys, for us to release ourselves from from the mindfuck, right? And to also grant ourselves psychological freedom. And it's possible, but only through being present. And also, I just also want to say, guys, that when we are present and we're paying attention to what is happening, it doesn't mean that we are in denial or that we are neglecting, or neglecting preparing what may come. It has nothing, or that we don't care about situations. That's not what this is about. It actually means that when we are present and we are paying attention to what is happening, we actually do care. In that energy, we care, or in that vibration, I feel like we care more about what will come or what will happen. Because when we pay attention to what is happening currently, it will then shape the future. Because you would then be prepared. Interesting how the word plays are coming back. You would then be prepared in that moment to receive what is needed, so that then you don't worry about the future, because it will all play out and it will all stack up and it will all even itself out, so that the future will already be taken care of due to us being present. Hope that makes sense here, guys. Let's see what the oracle card is. Well, the spider spirit. Yeah, make your dreams real. Tell you to make your dreams real, guys. We can do it. It's possible. And I'm just gonna leave you guys with this little message here. When we take on the spiritual path, when we're on this spiritual path, when we travel or take the road less traveled, we should expect, in a sense, to be called crazy. Expect to be called interesting, or any other synonyms you guys can come up with. Expect it to be called crazy. You ought to be called crazy as well sometimes from their perspective. What I'm trying to say here, guys, is this. When we take the road less traveled on a spiritual path, be expected to be called crazy, because it sort of is. But the main message here, or at least what I'm trying to leave you guys here with, is in order to make your dreams real, we have to align our consciousness and free ourselves from that as to which is meaningless and does not line up with the cosmic path that we are on, with God's divine will for us. Because he just wants to bless the shit out of us. And I don't know about you, but I allow God to bless the shit out of me. I'll just be like sometimes I'll go outside and all of a sudden, just smoking a cigarette or something. I go outside and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And then just start bawling in tears in just extreme gratitude, you know, and that is also being present as well. Don't judge your emotions, guys, when they come up. In a sense, if they randomly come up, you're experiencing ascension symptoms. You're experiencing these very strong, emotions at random times. Just let them flow. Don't judge them. Let them flow, because you're transmuting energy. You are transmuting timelines, plasma. I mean, it's very crazy, and or crazy meaning interesting, how much energy and how much light is on this planet right now, and that will continue to rise. And you are here for that specific reason, and you are here to experience that and to transmute that energy and to embody that energy and to understand the love of God on a whole other different level, which then means that not only do you become a knower of God, but you also become the way shower of God and become God's mouthpiece, All right, guys, that concludes the reading here, the collective reading. I hope it helped, those individuals out there that needed to hear it. And I'll see you when I see you guys. And as always, God bless, guys, and love and light.